The new scramble for Africa's economy. Who wins? History didn't end, it mutated. For 100 years, Africa was carved up on maps by foreign powers. Borders were drawn in European rooms. Resources were shipped overseas. Control was obvious. Then colonialism ended. Flags changed. Anthems were written. Independence was declared. And yet, today, Africa is once again the center of a global race. But this time, no armies, no flags, no colonies, just money, debt, infrastructure, influence. So here's the real question no one wants to answer. Is Africa finally rising, or is it being captured again quietly? A continent too big to ignore, Africa holds 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land, 30% of global mineral reserves. The youngest population on Earth. By 2050, 1 in 4 humans will be African. No serious global power can afford to ignore that, and they aren't. China, the United States, Europe, Russia, the Gulf states, all are competing not for land, but for economic leverage. He first scrambled to understand the new scramble. We must revisit the old one. In the late 1800s, European powers divided Africa to extract. Gold, rubber, oil, labor, colonial economies were designed for export, not development. Infrastructure ran from mines to ports, not between cities. When independence arrived mid-20th century, Africa inherited artificial borders, weak institutions, commodity-dependent economies. The structure remained. Only the managers changed. Globalization reaches Africa. By the 1990s and 2000s, Africa re-entered global focus, but not as a priority. It was seen as a risk, a charity case, a marginal player. Western investment was cautious. Aid replaced industry. Debt replaced development. Then something changed. China arrived. China's play, infrastructure for influence. China didn't lecture Africa. It built roads, railways, ports, power plants. In exchange, long-term contracts, resource access, strategic positioning. This wasn't charity. It was strategy. Africa gained infrastructure it desperately needed. China gained leverage. For many African governments, the deal was simple. At least someone is building. Why this mattered? Infrastructure unlocked growth, but it also created dependence. Loans were often state-to-state, opaque, backed by future resources when economies slowed. Repayment became harder. Debt didn't arrive with soldiers. It arrived with contracts, debt, demographics, and disruption. By the late 2010s, cracks appeared. Commodity prices fell. Debt burdens rose. Currencies weakened. Some countries struggled to repay. Ports, mines, railways, all suddenly tied to foreign creditors. Meanwhile, Africa's population exploded. Millions of young people entered job markets that couldn't absorb them. Growth wasn't fast enough. Manufacturing was limited. Value creation stayed offshore. The promise of development stalled. Everyone joins the race. China was no longer alone. The US re-engaged not with factories, but with security. Europe returned focused on migration control. The Gulf invested in land, ports, logistics. Russia appeared trading arms for access. Africa became a chessboard again, not divided by borders, but by economic corridors. Who benefits from this system? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Africa grows, but not equally. Urban elites gain, foreign firms profit, governments stay afloat. But industrialization remains limited. Local value chains are weak. Export dependency continues. Raw materials leave. Finished goods return. That's not development. That's repetition. Why old solutions don't work. Aid didn't industrialize Africa. Structural adjustment weakened states. Debt relief didn't change economic design. The problem was never effort, it was structure. Africa exports what it doesn't price, imports what it can't afford, borrows to fill the gap. No continent can develop like this. History rhymes again. This pattern mirrors Latin America in the 20th century. Asia before industrial takeoff, colonial trade networks. But here's the difference. Africa has leverage now. Population, markets, geography, resources critical for green technology, lithium, cobalt, rare earths. The world needs Africa. For the first time, Africa can negotiate. The real battle. Not China versus West. The real contest isn't foreign, it's internal. Will African nations build regional trade, invest in manufacturing, capture value locally, or remain exporters in someone else's system? The new Scramble isn't about who controls Africa. It's about who Africa chooses to empower. Who wins? The honest answer. Right now, everyone wins a little, no one wins fully. Foreign powers gain access. African governments gain infrastructure. People gain partial growth. But until Africa controls pricing, processing, production, the final value escapes. 3 clear takeaways. Species 1, the Scramble never ended. It evolved. Control moved from land to leverage. 2, infrastructure without industry is not development. Roads alone don't create prosperity. 3, Africa's future depends on internal choices. External players respond to incentives. Africa sets them. The window won't last. Demographics can be a dividend or a disaster. Africa has a narrow window to industrialize, educate, integrate. If it misses this moment, the new Scramble will look very familiar, just quieter. If you want more deep, honest breakdowns of how global power really works beyond headlines and slogans, subscribe. Because history doesn't repeat itself. It waits to see who learned.